All right, I've switched cameras, so hopefully I won't be hitting the arms so much. Now, what we have here is our tiger's eye, but it's not the tiger's eye, the gold and blue that we've been running forever. Last week, we had pulled everything that was in medium and we put it on hold. And what we've done is we went through our stacks of rough and we found the balance of our blue tiger's eye, and we decided to run another batch of 60-90 course so that we could have it all catch up. So these were really big pieces, which yay, you know, we love big pieces. And it's coming along really nicely. It's smoothing out beautifully. Some of these pieces were rough that we've been pulling off and holding, and like this one. So now it's ready to move forward to medium. Some of these are ready. Some of these were brand new, just 1 week in course. So these that are catching up, we're pretty darn pleased about. That looks like a chip. And we ran this with no ceramic media. I wanted to see what the dealio was with that. Oh, this piece is finally... Oh, look at that. I think I'm off camera on this whole darn thing. That is just wearing away from being in the rough. And I'd actually like to give this one more week to get rid of it. But the rest of the stone is so lovely. But 1 more week we're going to give it. In for a penny, in for a pound. This golden tiger's eye is ready to move forward. Some of it just needed a little extra time, and we just didn't want to, when we didn't have enough of it to hold a whole batch. And this is what happens when you start splitting batches. They end up being all over the place. Oh, this is lovely. Just lovely. It's doing exactly what we wanted it to do. Now that is not a chip. That is not a chip. That is a divot. And it's all nice and smooth and ready to move forward. This could be smoothed out a little more. Wow, that is so close. I don't know what the dealio is with this one. Let's get it wet. Don't like how this white mark is. So I think I'm just going to let that run another week. And obviously another week. So we have these 5 pieces ready to move forward. And that's wonderful. They can join the medium tiger's eye. And this is our rough. And we're going to run it for another week. And yeah. We're going to have it catch up. So we're going to move really quickly with this repair barrel. Okay. Alrighty, we'll be right back. And we're back with our Chrysoprase. This has been running 1 week in 60-90 course, and it was a new stone we started last week. We have our chips over here. We didn't run any ceramic media with it because we were doing a little bit of an experiment We wanted to run the first week without any ceramic media to see if it helped quicken this sharpening process, and I'm going to say yes, because this is a MOHS hardness 7. It's doing a lot better. That, of course, still needs to move forward, and another week of 60-90. But my goodness, it's really shaping along quite well. Pretty darn pleased with this. Shaping very well. It's pretty green stone. And this is Chrysoprase. Wow. That one's actually ready to move forward to medium. My goodness. Now the second go round with the 60-90 rough is going to have ceramic media in it to help cushion and to help bring the grit to where it needs to go in these smaller places here. Obviously needs more work. It's really pretty. Now, since I have some things that are a MOHS hardness 7 that needs to stay in 60-90 coarse grit, or coarse grit, I wonder if we can combine them. Like that tiny bit of tiger's eye we have left. I hate to just run a whole big barrel just for that. And those pieces are mostly larger than these, so would have a variety of sizes, which also helps to carry the grit. Whew. I think most of these will definitely be ready next week. That's super duper good news. Yeah, we'll see how much we have left. Now, both this and the tiger's eye had 1 week in coarse and with no ceramic media. So this week they would both need ceramic media. Oh, so close. So this is all we have left. Let's move this camera back here some so you can see. It's just under half full. And this is like a quarter full. And it's ready to go. So let's just... Well, look at that. I think that's going to work perfect. That's our 2/3 full, 3/4. We'll add some tiny ceramic media. You know what? We won't for this first go round. I think there's enough in here that it's going to be just peachy all on its own. Yeah. We might add a tiny bit more water since we've added more stone. It already has the coarse grit in here. And we did 3 tablespoons because it's a 3-pound barrel. And we're not going to need any more grit. We're just going to need a little bit more water, and then this is ready to go. Great! We combined 2 barrels, and this will give us another one free. Alrighty, we'll be right back with our next barrel. Alright, now we have our clear crystal quartz, amethyst, and peach aventurine barrel that we combined. Oh, isn't this just lovely? Other than a couple of spots down here on the bottom, this is just perfect. I think once this goes through medium, it's gonna shine up really nice. It does have a little bit more on this bottom. You can see that I'd like to have sorted out. But oh, the rest of the stone is just stunning. Very happy. Let's say for now it's going back in. Okay, here's another piece. Also very lovely. I don't know if that's a chip. Is that a chip? I think it is. Let's put it through one more week. Now these are almost 7, so they got a really nice hardness. Seems like a lot of what we're running is most 7. Oh, just delightful. Let's dry this off. Let's take a really good look. Oh my. Just stunning. This one is ready to move forward to medium. Any more clear? I think that was it. Just 2 pieces of clear. No, there's a little tiny one. Aww. And he's also ready to go to medium. So our peach Aventurine looks really fractured, but you can't feel it other than this one right here. Oh, let's bring that light back. Does that help? There we go. Whew. Now see, this fracture line you can't feel at all. It's just visual. It's just this one right here across the back. I wonder what one more week will do. Oh, isn't that lovely? Such an interesting shape. This whole fracture line here bothers me. And it's been bothering me all along. You see how it's kind of grit catchers and slurry catcher? One more week and pray it stays together. Ooh, gosh, that just feels so amazing. Oh, I can't feel that. Peach Aventurine. Ready to move forward. That looks like a little tiny chip. And I would like that to be smoothed out a tiny bit more. There's hardly any left, because everything's been picked out for medium, you know, throughout the last couple of weeks. And see, this stuff has been running since September 19th. 4, 5, 6 weeks. What, can you see the pattern in that? That's just the coolest. I think that one's ready to move forward. This is kind of becoming a worry stone all on its own. Isn't that neat? Not sure if that's going to crack. Doesn't look like it. But it also has a lot of slurry stuck in there. Feels pretty smooth though. I think what I'm going to do is get in there with a pick and see what the situation is. And if it's just the stone itself, I'll move it forward. If it's slurry, I'll put it back into rough for 1 more week. So we'll look at that in a moment. Now, alright. Amethyst is beautiful. This could use 1 more week though. There's a lot of shaping that needs to happen here. It's all pretty rough. It needs to be smoothed out. Amethyst seems to be pretty darn hard. Wow. You can really see through this one. That's cool. But it needs another week. Same with this piece. And this one's ready for medium. These little tiny ones are ready for medium. Okay, and I'm going to check that one for the slurry as well. Sometimes you get those fracture marks and it's hard to tell if it's just a fracture or if it's, you know, something else happening. So you got to get in there with magnifying glass and a dental pick. Yeah, that can be smoothed more. And that one's got a lot that needs to be done. So it's ready to go. Well, that does catch the fingernail. I think I'm going to let it go 1 more week in rough. I know it's pretty small, but we need different size stones in the barrel. This one's ready. Okay, our ceramic media, we're going to get rid of all the really tiny chip stuff like, you know, like this. So we don't need that. And we're going to look through for any chips, but I really don't see any, and I didn't notice any chippage on the stones either. So let's take a look. Let's grab our dental pick. Let's see what the deal is with this. No, that's just the stone. I am going to give it 1 more week in rough. In coarse grit. Yeah. I think that can go 1 more week as well. Okay. So that's it for these little beauties. We're down to almost nothing in the barrel here. It's about 1/4 full. We were able to pull these out. They're ready to go to medium. And we need to make a decision on whether we're going to move forward with medium, because we have all these others out here that we pulled, Who's that orange Aventurine? These are ready. I think we have enough to run medium, and we could just hold these big beautiful pieces for another barrel. I think we could do that. And we're getting more stuff in medium, getting it to move forward. That's pretty wonderful. Okay. All right, let's switch these barrels out and we'll be right back. All right, we're going to try something different. I moved the light right above our camera so we have a little circle we're working in. So here is our Howlite, which has been running in 6090 coarse grit since September 21st. So it's been running 6 weeks. And it's like it has a little chip right there. Boy, isn't this a gorgeous piece, though? Oh, really nice. I think that's going to have to run again. This one's ready to go to medium. Almost like a heart. That is ready to go to medium. Feels really good. I think our Howlite's getting ready to move forward. At least most of it. Aw, it's got a little tiny chippy there. And we did find one chip over here. Wow. Look at that. That's definitely ready. We're running this batch in our little 1.5 pound barrel because we only had a little bit left. Oof. That, I don't know if you can see it because of the white. There's a spot there. You know, I think medium would fix that perfectly. This was a big piece we added towards the end. It's only been in a couple of weeks. Needs one more. We kept adding to the rough to fill the barrel. And we've got a little bit more Howlite laying around in our rough stores that we could pick some more out and keep running it. Howlite's really lovely. It's really beautiful to work with. It's a softer stone. Oh, look at that. It went down. It's just an itty bitty, teeny tiny thin piece. Aww. I think that's going to be added to our chip barrel. Along with this little piece here. Alright, do we find any more Howlite? Yeah, here's another piece. Oh, there's a chip there and a chip there. Neck in the barrel. Oh, that's perfect. Here's another chip. It's kind of hard to find the Howlite when it's the same color as the ceramic media. There's another chip. And I think these chips are coming off the new stones we were in, the new rough pieces we were introducing to the batch. Don't really see any more Howlite. Okay, So most of it is ready to move on to medium. We've got this whole little bag ready. Add these pieces to there. And then we're going to find our chip bag for the Howlite, which we've got over here. We'll add the chips in there. Now, we need to make a decision. Are we going to keep adding to this? I mean, this is all we have left. With a piece of, we'll add that to the chip bag. So this is all we have left. These 5 pieces. And let's move this light there. That's all we have left. That's not enough to run a barrel. Even one of these little 1.5 pounders. So we can either put more Howlite in here, or we can swap it out for what's in our medium. And you know what I think I'd like to do is just keep adding more Howlite. I think that's definitely what we want to do, is add more Howlite. Okay. We will refill this barrel and we'll be back shortly. Here we have our golden quartz. It's been running 3 weeks in 6090 coarse grit. It might need a tiny bit more work. And it's only been 3 weeks. There's a lot of rough edges still. There's a lot of pitting, there's just a lot that needs work. Quartz is a harder stone, and it's only been 3 weeks, so yeah. I love the variety of the color in the golden. Like, this one's so pale. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And then like one like this has got darker striations in it, darker inclusions. Lots needs to happen with this. We're going to move relatively quickly, since it's going to stay. Found 1 chip so far. It's right here. Ooh. Yep. Oh, this may never happen. I may split that. Matter of fact, I will split it. And then we'll put it back in here. Wow, this one feels beautiful. If it wasn't for this right here, it'd be ready to go to medium. Oh, that's got some sharpness. Yeah, so like you see things like that, you just know it needs to go back in. There's no point in continuing to check it. Once it's obvious it's going back in. Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, I just love this piece. I just love it. And it's ready for medium. Yay! Here's another chip. Here's a little tiny chip that broke off and then smoothed nicely. Okay, do we see any more chips? No, we do not. So I'm going to split this one, put it back in. The reason I'm splitting it is it's going to become a garden rock otherwise. It's never going to smooth to where we need it. This is always going to catch grit and be a problem. So if I split it right here, hoping it'll go right along that fracture line and we'll have 2 usable pieces. Otherwise we'll have a garden stone. Alright, I will be right back after I split it. Alright, after we split it, we have this lovely piece, which of course is going back into the barrel. This will go into the chips, and I think this will go into the chips as well because we can break that down further for another project. So that was the outcome for that. So our golden quartz is going to go back for another week of rough, coarse grit 60-90. This one piece is going to get set aside for medium. Yay, progress. All right, we'll be right back. We're back with Spiritite. It has been running in 60-90 coarse grit for 3 weeks. And last week, or 2 weeks ago, we added a little bit more. Wow, isn't this just amazing patterns? You can just look at this all day. There's a fracture line right here. It's pretty deep. Don't know if that's going to work its way out or not. Hopefully it will. There's a little piece on there too. This, as you can see, hang on, let's get our dental pick, has a piece of ceramic media stuck in it. So, imagine how much grit and slurry that's going to hold. This is going to become a garden stone. A beautiful garden stone, but a garden stone nonetheless. It's got just too many problems, so we're just going to know right away. Yeah, it's a garden stone. This has got a lot of issues as well. And here's another piece of ceramic media that got stuck. Oh, I just shove it down deeper. Oh, that's definitely a garden stone. This one's doing okay. You know, these little pieces, this is going to smooth out. Wow, really pretty. Yeah. This is just really beautiful stone. Now, I contacted the store that I bought it from because Spiritite is a trade name, and I want to know the information about this stone, and they have not gotten back to me yet. I think it was Fantastic Gems. So I'm waiting for a reply because I don't believe this is a Jasper. Even though it has that really wonderful feel, it's not behaving like it, and I think it's much softer. So I don't really know what it is, except stunning. Supposedly this came from Mexico, the quarry. But again, I'm waiting to hear from the vendor I purchased it from because I can't really find any information on Spiritite. It might be a problem. We'll wait and see. Gosh, it feels really cool. And the designs are just amazing. Patterns, whatever you want to call it. There's some pitting here. I'd like to see that go away. Whew. It's like glass already. Wow. If it wasn't for... No, you know, that's just a dip. Doesn't really look... It's just a natural indent. It's not a rough spot. I think this piece is actually ready to move forward. Some of it's getting kind of pebbly. So, it's going to be a garden rock. I have a little Zen garden. One of those desktop Zen gardens, and I want to use these stones in it. So, setting those aside. Oh, look at all this. This is never going to be good. Oh, it's so pretty. Garden rock. It's easier to find out now than keep wasting our time later and later. These little pebbles we threw in for cushioning last week, and they are just working out perfectly. Whoops, for our little project. We don't want them to keep going because we don't want them to get smaller and smaller. Now we do have some chips, and we have a chip project that we're starting. This is never going to happen. That's too much pitting. Aww. Put that over here. Wow, isn't that gorgeous? It's really smooth, and except for this right here. I think one more week we'll get rid of that. This looks like it's got slurry on it. Sometimes that happens. Why, yes, it did have slurry. Yeah, that's close enough to go to medium. Needs work. Whew. Oh, look at all that. I don't think that's ever going to smooth down enough. We're going to lose a lot of rock. Let's give it one more week and then make a determination. Whew, it's just so pretty. You know, even though it has this mark, it's smooth. So I think I'm going to move that one forward. Aw, good little one. Another little one. It's going to be a really pretty Zen garden with all these tiny little Spiritite pieces. Let's see how long this was. 3 weeks in a rough. Ooh, that looked like it was a whole big druzy pocket that came out. So you can see there's more here, but it's nice and solid in there. That's pretty cool. And this looks like where chipping came out. So that is going back in. That is still too rough. That is Zen Garden. Dropped a piece. Sorry about all the wheel noise from the chair. I'm going to throw that in for filler. You know what? I'm going to throw that piece in for filler also. Oh! See, things like this are never, ever going to smooth out in a rock tumbler. So, rock garden for the plants. Well, that's an interesting little spot right here. That formation. Huh. A little cave in. There's a chip. There's a little tiny pebble. Aww. Close. Boy, really nifty. This is gonna need work. Got some bigger pieces in here. Oh my. Ooh, almost ready. And that's dry. Holy cow. Really pretty pieces. This is never going to happen. I'm going to go crack that. Because it's big enough we can get a couple of decent sizes out of it. Oof. So close. Then ooh, I think that's ready for medium. It is. This is so fun. It's just so vibrant and it feels so silky. Oh, there's a little bit right here. Still be worked out. And all of these have marks. And, oh, I just lost the little chip. There it is. We got lots of pebbles this time. That can filler. We have a lot of broken pieces we need to get out. Because with as soft as this stone is, it's going to really damage it. I don't see any other large pieces. So we can do the rest of this off camera. So this is everything that's going to go in our Zen Garden collection. We're going to split this one. And this is going to be another garden rock because it's just not going to happen. And this is what we have. About 1/4 of a barrel. So that will, I either have to find more Spiritite in my collection of rocks, or I have to move this to a smaller barrel. So let's take a look and see what we've got. Okay, hang on here. We're going to move our camera. Alright, so we split that rock. And we got a lot of really sharp, jagged edges. But I think this is going to just smooth super quickly. And it's going to be awesome. I think we saved it. And we ended up with a second piece. Who doesn't love that? And then these I can put in the chip barrel. All right, good to go. We're on to our next barrel. Well, there was no more Spiritite, so we're gonna put it on hold, see if we can move some barrels around. Meanwhile, we have our Sunstone. Which is looking promising. Oh, it's up there. Bet you we've got some, looks like we've got some chippage going on. There's some pyrite in there. Isn't that cool? Yeah, the Sunstone is really tiny. But we've gotten some of these little pieces are ready to move forward, so that's very promising. That needs some work. Got some tourmaline inclusions. Might be mica. I'm not really sure which it is. Oh. So we have no more Spiritite in our rock stores. And we have no more Sunstone either. So these are getting quite low. Okay, so our Sunstone, we have, this is ready for medium from last time. It's been running for 3 weeks in course. These are all ready for medium. We'll add those to our bag. Set those aside. Then we have a couple of little tiny chips in here that we're going to add to our chip bag for our future projects. Yeah, there was quite a bit in here. And this is all that we have left, and that is not enough to run a barrel. So we need to find something that's the same MOHS hardness and add this to that barrel, and we may have to set this aside for a while. The good news about setting the Sunstone aside is we have a smaller barrel than available for the Spiritite. But then the Sunstone goes on hold. And it's all just kind of a dance trying to see which barrels are open, which barrels are free. Well, while we set the Sunstone aside, let's take a look at our last, or well, no, we have 2 more barrels left. Let's look at our coffee and green colored Volcano. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, our last barrel of 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit is the coffee and green Volcano. I have a couple of little chips already. This is the coffee. That's ready for medium. And this is the green. Kind of obvious, but you never know. There's a couple little spots on that. I might be willing to let go, depending on how this batch is. Oh, there's another little spot. This is another one of those stones that I can find like no information on, and I'm trying to contact the vendor because this is another item that appears to be, I'm sorry, I spaced out on you. This is another item that appears to be a trade name, and I don't know if this stuff was dyed, because this is kind of really interesting. Huh. I don't know. No, that needs more work. But what we want to know, I want to know what kind of stone it is. Or if it's just one of those things you get bamboozled on. So I'm always leery of trade names. But it was a really super good deal, and it looked really interesting, and I wanted to give it a try. Just said coffee volcano, green volcano. I think I even have one that says black volcano. I just don't know what it is. So I thought I'd try it out and see how it runs. It's running pretty good. It's really smoothed quite a bit. It's only been running 1 week. This is after 1 week. And I tell you, I don't think it needs a full week to run again. Might end up really super tiny. It's kind of pretty, dyed or not. Well, again, can't prove it's dyed. I'm waiting for confirmation from the vendor. I don't care one way or the other. I just kind of want to know more about this particular stone. It doesn't just look like paint came off that. However, we do have a yellow jasper that this happens to also. So it could just be a really thin overlay of one mineral over quartz or some other material. I mean, 1 week, that's pretty awesome. This, a whole piece came out of. It's really kind of cool. It's like a druzy hole, except you don't see any crystal, you just see stone. I don't know, we'll see what happens with this. May become a rocks garden stone. It is pretty. Looks like we've got some pebbles in here. We can use it as filler. It's not smooth enough to move forward. Yeah, see, that looks like a chip came off. We're rocking right through this pretty quickly here. Getting a fair amount to move forward. So by splitting this batch, it's giving us less and less to fit into this barrel. So I'm going to go through my stores. I think I've got black volcano, and I'll add it to the rough. So we have enough to fill that barrel. That was really neat. Boy, getting some little pebbles. I might move these pebbles to the Zen garden. Why not? Ooh, that almost got by me. Tell I'm getting tired. It's been, it's almost 5 o'clock. I've been doing this for 7 hours today. Started at 10:30. Not quite 7 hours, but by the time I'm done, it will be. It's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And I try to be really super thorough. Is that just an optical? Oh, I almost put that back in the rough thinking that that was a blemish, and it's really smooth to the touch. No, except that one's not. It's still going back. Alright, any more? A little, no, this was it for the chips. All of this is going to be held back for medium. This is our 4.5 pound barrel, and as you can see, we don't have enough to run. So let me see what I can find for the rest of the volcano, and see if we can fill this. Alright, I'll be right back in a minute. Well, I thought I had a black volcano, but I have another container of the coffee. So we're just going to add that in here. Oh, that's interesting. It's got a green spot on it. Huh. Okay. So let's just add our ceramic media. And now we have almost enough to run this. It's just under half full. But at least we've used up all of our volcano glass. This came from Digging Dolls, and off Etsy, and Etsy or Amazon. I don't know, one of the two. I'm trying to get a hold of them so that we can find out what this volcano glass or volcano stone really is. Alrighty, we will see you in a moment. Alright, we're back with our Snowflake repair barrel. Now we had Snowflake Obsidian that is all the way up to through medium, and it's ready to go, or through 500. It's actually ready to go to 1000 grit, but we've set it aside because we wanted the rest of our Snowflake Obsidian to catch up. And here we have our little tiny repair barrel. These were our problem children snowflakes. It took forever. It's been in 60, 90, I think 1 week to catch up. I'm sorry, it's not in 60, 90, it's in 120, 220. So it's in medium to catch up to our other barrel. So we're gonna have to run this in 500. Oh yeah. We're going to run this in 500. We're going to give it a wash cycle. And then it should be able to catch up. I mean, it's looking really good. We want to make sure we don't have any chips. Ooh, really nice. So this was stuff that was sitting in medium and needed to run one more time. And it did the trick because these are just gorgeous. Absolutely lovely. Oh, I love it when a plan works. Oh, can we get good color on this? Everything looks really dark today. Which it shouldn't, it's a bright sunny day out. Ha 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 ha! 100%. Everything's running perfectly. There's no chips. There's no, anything. It's perfect. So it is ready for a couple of wash cycles, and then it will go to 500 grit to catch up. Oh my gosh, fantastic. Alrighty. We end up, after we've moved all of our barrels around, we have a 6-pound barrel available. I'm not sure if I should run it or hold it aside because winter's coming. In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's pick something else and let's run it in our 6-pound barrel. I'm in the mood for something, maybe picture Jasper. Let's get another really pretty Jasper out. Alrighty, let me see. I'll take a look. I'll be right back.